All right, we are.
Please hit me that.
Okay.
Alicia, go hit me that.
Ooh, can we make sure we mute? Who's muted?
My paperwork, please.
Oh,
In that diaper.
I'm muting you, Brianna. Okay. All right. So sorry. Okay. So I hope everybody's having a great night. It's the last day of the month. You guys, we are freaking killing it. Like all the shout outs and all the posts. I cannot wait to do that tomorrow. So I'm just going to dive in here and we're going to talk about the 15 ways to live more positively. Positively. So I'm just going to dive in because we don't have a lot of time and I want to make sure that we have enough time to prep before Deborah's power hour after this. So number one, build a great culture by living your values and valuing your people. Be authentically you. Don't try to become others. This is going to sound silly because I love this, but if you love pickle juice, don't pretend you hate it just to satisfy or justify other people's feelings or opinions. It's a silly way to think about it, but it's little things like that that make a difference, right? When you just try to fake it till you make it, but don't fake it. Be you. Right now I'm fumbling over my words, so I'm faking it till I make it, right? But in a positive way, I'm moving through it. So number one, build a great culture by living your values and valuing your people. Okay, people will pick up on that. They'll feel it, they'll see it, they'll hear it. Just be you. Number two, build trust. Do what's right. Integrity and honor matter. We don't know if you're struggling if you don't say anything. This is all around, between personal, professional, whoever. If you're a pretty tight-lipped person and prideful, which is what I used to be, practice becoming more vulnerable with us. We are here to build your confidence, not break you down. If someone is rubbing you the wrong way, approach that person in a kind manner and let them know. If you're too afraid to rock the boat, let your upline know or someone you trust to help you navigate it. But you need to do that so that you can gain the confidence and build that trust with that person, that they know that they can trust you with anything, whether it's positive or negative. But regardless, it's going to help you live more positively if you start to build that trust and do what's right and use that integrity and honor that you have. It's a moral that we're all built with, right? That's what we're born with. All right, so number two, build trust. Number three, care more. Sorry, Bianca. Care more. A leader who cares builds a team that cares. Interact with your team out of a pure connection. Refrain from only talking business because this business is about relationship building. If you have a VIP or a market partner or somebody on your sideline, be genuine, have a normal conversation. Connect one-on-one with your team. You can't lead someone effectively if you don't know them. So start to listen more. Because if you go off and you decide that you're going to go have coffee with somebody, eventually you're going to talk about something else, right? Like a lot of us are going on these Bumble dates, Bumble BFF dates, and having these conversations via FaceTime. Show them you care. You don't have to bring up the business. The business will come up in a normal way. Okay, so that's number three, care more. Number four, consistently share the vision and mission and rally your team to create it. I'll say that again. Consistently share the vision and mission and rally your team to create it. We are built on gratitude and changing people's lives. That's what we do. That's what we're meant to do. We're not just like one of these other network marketing companies that's like sell, sell, sell. All right, guys, cool, next rank, let's go. No, we want to actually share the vision and mission. We have a great philanthropy. That's what we do. And that's who we're helping. And we're not only just helping people that need it, we're helping people that want it, whether it's financial, they want a car, they want to travel more, they want to leave their corporate life, whatever. That's part of our vision and mission. Okay, so number four, consistently share the vision and mission. Number five, believe in your team more than they believe in themselves. Okay, believe in your team more than they believe in themselves. Believe it or not, I don't always wake up like this. Veronica knows that firsthand. There are days that I do struggle. And when I'm not feeling my best, I will still jump in. It might take a minute, but I'll still jump in and say, to the team or to my sidelines or to my downline or to my uplines, whoever, and just say, hey, how are you? How's your morning? What'd you do today? Just that text. That means that you still care. And when you kind of like move your way through that text message, your mood will change. You decide how you wake up in the morning, right? And you start to believe in yourself. So if you prep yourself for receiving that type of energy, you're going to give that energy, and you're going to just, I don't even know, like just be more like, what's the word? Outgoing, I guess is a good word. Have you ever heard of someone saying you can hear someone smiling through the phone? Drop a 1 in chat if you've ever been able to hear someone smile through the phone. You can tell what kind of mood they're in. If they're smiling, you can hear it. If they're upset, you can hear it. You can just hear it. And you don't even have to know, like, my friends call it my Minnie Mouse voice. So when I answer the phone, I'm like, hey, this is Lindsay, da da da, and just goes on and on. When I get off the phone, I'm back to my other mood, but my mood is a lot better when I get off the phone. So believe in your team more than they believe in themselves. Push that energy to somebody else because you don't know what they're going through, even if they're not going through anything. Number 6, serve those that you lead. When you serve their growth, they will help your team and organization grow. Be there for your team, business and personal. This kind of goes back to the other one. Help them get out of their funk. Usually that helps you stay out of yours. So again, it's the whole like pushing the energy through and working through it, and you will eventually start to feel what you're doing to other people, and you will start to feel that positive energy pushing through. So number 6, serve those that you lead. All right. Number 7, provide both love and accountability. Love and accountability do go hand in hand. It's also called constructive criticism, for those of you that don't like the word love. But Veronica says this best. She starts her sentences off when she's ready to coach. I say this out of love, meaning she wants you to succeed. Anybody that says that wants you to succeed. And when she says that, she's about to give you some knowledge bombs and something for you to work with. What you do with it on your end is up to you. But my advice is to listen when somebody prefaces any conversation with, I tell you this out of love. Okay, so provide love and accountability. Number 8, transform problems into opportunities and complaints, into solutions. Ask how you can help. I don't know, means that they do know, but they're afraid to say it or don't really want to make the effort to think. This allows you and them to really think how they can keep pushing. Keep pushing it. Say, what do you mean you don't know? Like, what are you struggling with? Where do you need help? How can I help you get out of where you are? It's a conversation that every leader should be having with their downline or sidelines, whoever. You're going to want to have that conversation so that everybody can win. All right. So this is if you're having a difficulty, like helping them get through that, I don't know phase, try to find something that you can relate to on that level. All right. So number 8, transform problems into opportunities and complaints into solutions. Number 9, my favorite, because I have so many friends that do this and they're not even on our team. Like they are beyond branches of our team. Number 9 is unite instead of divide. Treat others how you want to be treated. Even if they make you mad, don't let that be visible to others. Because number 1, we can feel it because, hello, energy. And number 2, we're all in this together. There's a reason why we are called a team and not employees. I'm gonna say that again. There's a reason we are a team and not employees. Don't allow the negativity to sabotage the team and organization. Address it and seek to transform it. This is big in our community. Collaboration over competition. There are other industries that are considered competition, but they're not. Tell them if somebody comes to you and they maybe do Mary Kay, for instance, because I'm talking to a girl that did that. She asked me the other day, she was like, what app do you use to create your backgrounds? I'm like, well, I actually use Pinterest. And I type in a search and she said, oh, that's pretty cool. I'm not competing with her. I'm collaborating with her because I'm sharing the knowledge because it could help somebody else down the road. And also it could set her up if she fails at her current network marketing position. Maybe my coaching can bring her to me. Does that make sense? So if she is struggling and her upline is not providing her what she needs, maybe she will leave Mary Kay and come to me. Just as an example. Not doubting Mary Kay, whatever. Everybody has some sort of experience with a network marketing company like that. And if somebody comes to you and says, oh my God, I love your motivation. I love what you're doing. You're so inspiring. What do you do? Tell them what you do to get your team hyped. Tell them your coaching techniques. Tell them what worked for you. And it's going to work for them. Like, they're going to try it. So again, that goes back to the whole unite instead of divide. You want to work together as a team, even if you're not on the same team. A perfect example, I'm getting with a woman that works for Beauty Counter. I used to nanny for her, but we're going to do like a little Facebook group event, just the two of us, because we don't have makeup. They have skincare, but she's not going to promote the skincare. She's going to promote her makeup, right? And I'm going to provide everything else. And it's a collaboration. We're uniting instead of dividing. All right. Number 10. Make sure you write this down because I'm sure that nobody talks about this. And then my heater came on. Communicate. One more time. Communicate. Where there is a void in communication, negativity will fill it. There's no need to even elaborate on this, but I'm going to because sometimes you need the extra little pep. We don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we don't know. Your potentials don't know what you're doing. Assume that they don't watch your stories. Assume that they don't see your feeds. Instagram, I'm going to go ahead and say it, pardon my French. Instagram and Facebook have been fucking up with our algorithms. I went from having 200 plus views on my story to now I'm down to 70. Why? I don't know. Probably because we're all working from home. I don't really know. And also remember that when you're doing these stories, people's attention spans are like this. I'm guilty. So they tap real quick. Just because they viewed your story doesn't mean that they actually read it. He's one of them, right? I've had firsthand experience with that, where I said, hey, what'd you think? And then I got no response because he was like, what are you talking about? Perfect example. All right, so communicate. Communicate with your upline, communicate with your potentials, communicate with your sidelines, just talk. Like, again, whether it's from an issue that you have on the team or you want learning, we don't know what you need unless you tell us. So we don't know what we don't know. All right, number 11, pursue excellence. You don't have to choose between positivity and success. Being positive and pursuing excellence leads to success. Boost the morale. Sometimes you might need to change the setting and it helps to move yourself out of the energy space. So there is a connection with what you're doing, what you're thinking, and what will come. Okay, perfect example. I was in the office all day. I cleaned that space with the sage. I cleaned it, I sat with it, I meditated, I did everything in that space to make it a clean space. But guess what I'm doing tomorrow? Moving my space because I need new energy, because tomorrow's a new day. I don't know what the energy is going to be like in that room, so I'm going to move it. Let's say you can't move. Let's say you can only change your music. So change your music. If you're listening to booty rap that's talking about killing people and doing all these horrible things, or if you're listening to heavy metal that's talking about how so-and-so died the other day, change it. I promise you, changing your music to something more positive, like Andy Grammer is a great one. Shakira is a good one, because obviously I was playing that. There's a lot more, Spice Girls too. That's actually a good one. There's a lot more positive music and environment changes that you can make that are little and minute, but will make all the difference. If you need a dance session, take a dance session. You just have to change up the energy in the space. It also comes down to, if you don't believe, your results will show that, right? I went through a little bit of a slump. I told myself I believed, but did I? How many of you are feeling that right now? Drop a 1 in chat if you're feeling that life right now where you're just like, I believe it. And then you're like, just kidding. Like, come on. I know somebody's doing it. Okay, I got 1. Oh, come on. Just 1? Just 1 person? All right, I got you, boo. We're on the same level. I'm having trouble believing in myself, but I do now. And I'm sure everybody has been there. Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, so number 11, pursue excellence. Number 12, don't focus solely on the results. Focus on your people who drive the results. If you want great fruit, invest in the root. Has anybody ever heard that before? If you want great fruit, invest in the root. Meaning yourself. Change yourself. You can't, I don't know if any of y'all have heard, love yourself. You have to love yourself before you can love somebody else. That's the truth. All right. So let's see, where was I? All right. So we all have market partners who are just sitting. Check in with them occasionally, but don't spend too much time on them and force the drive, because what will end up happening is you get a fake high out of it, and then all of a sudden you're back where you started. Let's say this could happen like mid-month, right? You've got market partners that you've had for months or years, and they're ready to go, and then literally the next day they're like, crickets. Okay, don't invest in those people. Just check in with them, tell them what's going on, make sure they know about the sales, whatever. But having that, you still have that open engagement with them. That way there is that line of communication. Again, that goes back to the previous topics. They'll either work the business or they won't. If you have eager beavers, focus on them. I'm sorry, I'm aging myself just now by saying that. If you have eager beavers, focus on them. Help them build. Now, that's not to say leave them high and dry if they're not talking to you, like what I just said, but don't focus all of your energy on someone who's not motivated. For me, I'll tell you what I personally do. I occasionally send a text checking in to see how they're doing. I don't bring up the business. I only talk about their personal stuff. Exactly, yeah. Run with runners, sit with sitters. That's right. Yeah, and that doesn't work for everybody, but it works for me. It might work for you. It might not work for somebody else. That's fine. Whatever works for you and keeps your belief system hype, keep doing it. If something isn't working, change it. Which leads me to the next thing. Change the environment instead of allowing the environment to change you. That's number 13. We're almost done, guys. Number 13, change the environment instead of allowing the environment to change you. Like I was saying earlier, if you can't concentrate, move. Take your business to another place. That's the beauty of our business. We can work from literally anywhere. There were days that I sat on my porch. It was fantastic. I didn't sit there all day because my back hurt, but I was out there because I needed a new space. I needed a new space. If you don't have, this is going into more of a personal aspect. If you don't have supportive people surrounding you, that's fine too. Here's a passive way to get rid of that energy. Say, you know what? I need to put in some work so I can do this and this for me. That will either put them in a headspace to say, oh snap, maybe I should be more supportive, or not. Either way, you're out of that negative environment by putting that thought out there and saying, this is what I need to do for me, see you later. And it's basically, you can either run with me or you can be behind me, but I am going. Lost a lot of friends because of that, but I really don't care, because what that means is that they weren't friends to begin with if they're not going to support you. All right, so number 13, change the environment. Don't let the environment change you. Number 14, praise more than you criticize. Encourage. Celebrate others. When you focus on what your people are doing right, they will do it more often. Wins are wins, guys. When you grow yourself, your results and business grow. So sometimes you may need to pat yourself on the back, because that goes back to the whole what we don't know kind of thing. And if we don't know that you did something, tell chat, hey, you know what? I really wanted to sleep in today, but instead I turned off my alarm. I did the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and hopped the F out of bed. Cool, right? You're gonna get a reaction from somebody. Somebody is going to say, I'm so proud of you, congratulations, whatever hype you need. it's there for you. You don't even have to do it in a group chat. You can just send it to a friend and say, hey, you would be so proud of me that I did this. And you responding to that person because they needed your hype is validation for them. All right. Last but not least, this kind of like goes all full circle. Clarify, simplify, and identify what matters most. This leads to focused action and generates positive results. It goes back to pursuing excellence, what we talked about earlier. The more defined your plan is, the more likely you will be able to check it off your list. It feels good to cross things off, right? Everybody has this massive to-do list, right? And I've hosted calls where we talk about micro anxieties and making like a 2, 3, 4 item list to do each day. Well, between Veronica and my personal trainer, I have figured out what the Power 5 list is. And a Power 5 list is a reward system. And if you don't know about the Power 5 list, I can tell you about that more on the side. But basically, if I don't do all 5 things that day, doesn't have to be in order, but if I don't complete those things at all, I get an L for that day. 5 things, a W, 4 things, an L, I lose the day. And I move on to the next one. So you can do that with your business, and that being things that matter the most, right? We all know about non-negotiables, the IPAs, the things that we should be doing every day without having to write it down. These should be like second nature. I'm talking about the things like personal development. I could talk about that till I'm blue in the face. A podcast, reading, meditating, doing something to get your body moving. Those things are going to be what sets you up for success. So, and you'll be able to clarify, to simplify, and identify what matters most in your business. When you have a clear mind and you're ready to grow and go, you're going to be able to figure out your importance list. So, anyway, does anybody have any questions? If you do, unmute yourself. Anyone? Anyone? Anyone have any other tips? Nobody? Man, y'all are a bunch of quiet.
I have a question. When you, because you kind of touched on this a little bit. Mm-hmm. When your environment is not necessarily, I don't want to say not supportive, but they don't take you seriously, and you're like in one room, everybody, and you have nowhere to go.
Yeah. How
do you suggest to like work through that so you're able to like focus and not be so easily distracted, or like let it get in your head?
So my favorite thing to do when that happens is I call somebody on the team and I tell them I win. I tell them I win when that person's in the room with me. And I have that shit on speakerphone. And I'm like, oh my God, you won't believe this. I've been having this VIP for 6 months and I've been talking to her and she finally fucking signed up.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then they hear your hype and they hear the other person's hype, like, oh my God, girl, I'm so proud of you. Like, I knew you were going to do it. It just took some time.
Right. Okay.
And what that also does is it shifts their energy. And then they do become a quote unquote believer.
Right.
They just some people are the see it to believe it.
Yeah. I feel like that's what I'm struggling with. It's like people are not going to, I think everyone just thinks I take selfies all day or something in my family, you know?
You just have to fight through it. And if you continue to believe in yourself and continue trying to like remember your why, all that other bullshit's not going to matter.
Right. Exactly. Thank you.
Sure. Anybody else? Okay. Oh, I see you coming close. What you need?
Thank you. That was a really great call. I really appreciate you.
I hope everybody's hype. I will send the recording into chats when it's available. Man, I made it right at the 30-minute mark, so I don't get cut off this time. All right, y'all. Well, have a good night. Deborah, we'll see you in 30 minutes.